Hello. Today's video is a continuation of last week's video about ways narcissists try to silence their victims. Before watching, you might want to watch last week's video, the same title, in case you missed it. Invalidation is another excellent way to silence a victim. Invalidation basically says everything about you is wrong, flawed, or even crazy. It makes a person feel that they can't trust their own thoughts or feelings or even perceptions. No one who feels that messed up is really going to feel able to confront a narcissist or tell others that they're being abused. In fact, invalidation makes people feel as if they're not being abused and they're completely wrong or crazy or even oversensitive for thinking such a terrible thing in the first place. Creating anxiety and fear in a victim also makes that person quiet. If a person's afraid of their abuser, that victim's not going to want to do anything that may provoke that abuser's anger. In fact, they'll do anything to avoid that anger. That often includes refusing to confront their abuser or tell anyone about the abuse. After all, what if the person they tell confronts the abuser? It's much safer to keep the abuse a secret. Narcissists also love to wear a person down to make them easier to force into silence. If they live with a person, they can do this through sleep deprivation. If not, they can do it through harassment and stalking. They constantly call or email or text. The sheer volume of calls, emails, and text really can wear a person down. It takes a lot of strength to ignore your phone's constant ringing and alerts about receiving new emails and texts. It probably doesn't sound that bad, but I can tell you, after being on the receiving end of this, it is extremely stressful and exhausting. No one can forget a narcissistic rage. These happen when a narcissist receives a narcissistic injury of some sort, which basically is a blow to the self-esteem. Talking to others about the narcissist's abusive ways or confronting a narcissist about them is definitely a narcissistic injury, and it will result in a rage. The rage of an overt narcissist is usually loud and vicious. Name-calling and cursing aren't above them. Sometimes they even become physically abusive as well. The rage of a covert narcissist is much quieter. It involves things like the silent treatment, scathing criticisms, and intense guilt trips. A person would do anything to avoid either type of rage, and that includes suffering in silence, not telling anyone about the abuse they endure or confronting the narcissist about it. Diversion is another excellent way to silence victims. Anyone who's confronted a narcissist has no doubt seen this in action. The conversation starts out with the victim stating they have a problem with the narcissist's behavior, and the conversation ends up discussing something completely different. Often it ends with the narcissist accusing the victim of some awful or even abusive behavior, and the victim apologizing. The original topic was completely abandoned, and naturally no problem was solved. Sometimes diversion isn't so obvious, though. Sometimes the narcissist simply changes the subject and continues to ramble on and on, leaving the victim so frustrated that they just give up. Lastly, smear campaigns are very commonly used. If a narcissist can't stop you from confronting them or telling others what they have done to you, they will not hesitate to tell everyone they meet what a terrible person you are. They'll have plenty of evidence to prove their point, too, even if they have to lie about that evidence. If they can discredit you, they know others won't believe anything you have to say. It also is revenge. You made them look bad, so they're just returning the favor. When these things happen, remember that these are simply tactics that are supposed to silence you. Don't give in. You have every right to talk to whoever about whatever you want. It's your life. The narcissist is only a part of it. If that person wanted you to speak kinder about or to her, she should have treated you better. Thank you for watching.